Hey guys, Colby here, back with another Racial Legends video for today because we have some insane 10x events coming in today. The news today, basically, that will be starting tomorrow, a guaranteed champion event summoning, which will be from Void Shards. So if you guys have been hoarding those Void Shards, then this is the time. Maybe if you want to get that guaranteed champion, that's going to be Turvold. All right, from 80 Void Shards starting tomorrow all the way till Tuesday, or well, until the event on Tuesday ends. So this will be an insane 10x weekend with different 10x events every 2 days happening for both champions summoned through ancients and sacreds, but also through voids. So you'll be pulling the voids and also contributing to that 80 shard mark where you will get the guaranteed Turvold. So if we have a look at Turvold, he's a very strong champion, very unique skill that he has in terms of damage potential with the amount of buffs that he has. I think I have him in my vault sitting right now. Let's just take him out of my vault. I actually have a dupe of the guy, but the skill that he has is very unique, and it's the Juggernaut skill. Attacks one enemy 2 times, damage increases according to the number of buffs on this champion. If the target is killed, resets the cooldown of this skill. So this is a very strong skill, especially when you're trying to get some unkillable setups or even killable setups where you're looking for high damage potential coming in with the number of buffs, with a synergized team going together with Turvold. Very strong single target champion. So it all depends if you want to go for that one. That's 80 void shards that you need to get opened, right? And then we have the 10x event that starts on Friday, and that's going to be for specific champions. Riho, Bone Spear, and Ursuga Warcolor are going to be the void legendaries offered through that. So let's go and have a look at Riho first. Riho is a very unique champion for her A2 skill. Places stun debuff on the target for 1 turn, as well as an HP burn, decreased defense, weaken, decreased attack, decreased critical rate, and then attacks the target. This has a very high damage multiplier, and this does a lot of damage plus all the debuffs that are applied. She also has a very strong cleanse and a block debuffs buff for your allies for 2 turns. Very strong support type champion. Ursuga is also very strong. It's the one I summoned the other day when I was pulling some voids for a video. She also has this very unique passive. When receiving any debuffs, instantly transfers them from this champion to the attacker. Really solid support, but it's a 10x event, so remember the chances to get a legendary don't change. It's just that the pool of champions now basically becomes bigger with more of Riho in there and more of Ursuga in there. I will definitely not be summoning through that since I already have like 2 Ursugas. Ursuga is very strong, was very strong at least before the stone skin sets, because of her very unique passive where she decreases the damage all allies receive from critical hits by 30%, and then she takes the damage. So that helps with very strong support type champions that go well together in order to survive in arena situations. She was used in defense, she's still used in some teams, but now that the stone skid sets are there, she's not as oftenly used, I would say, at least from my experience through the 3v3 tag arena, where I can see more of the end game teams. I don't push that much for platinum. And then we have some champions offered through, you know, just normal summons through ancients or sacred. It's going to be Lady Kimi, Valkyrie, and Kyoku. All right, the only one I don't have out of all these so far for the Friday event that will go over onto Saturday as well will be well, the only one I don't have is Kyoku. So Lady Kimi, Valkyrie, and Kyoku. Let's have a look at those. Lots of Shadowkins in this one. So Lady Kimi is very strong. She provides lots of buffs. She provides turn meter reduction, turn meter boosting, has a very unique A1 skill which decreases turn meter. Used a lot in arena, and sometimes she's used as the fastest champion in the team, actually, because of the utility that she provides with the decreased speed, decreased accuracy, and also decreased turn meter, the turn meter boosting, increased speed boosting, block buffs applied on an AoE basis. A very strong champion overall, and I'm happy that I have her. She was also featured in a guaranteed champion event, if I remember correctly. Then we also have Kyoku from Shadowkin, which I do like, although I didn't go for her when she was offered through a guaranteed summoning event. Her very unique block damage and ally protection is what makes her so strong, and people were summoning for her. And also, I think she was featured through a champion training event, which again I didn't go because that was very close to the Krisk one, and I felt like I didn't have the dedication or the willingness to just do more champion turns to try to get this legendary champion. A very strong one if you're looking to build a team for clan boss and you're looking for a very strong ally protection champion. She can fit in there, but needs very specific kind of setup to make it work. She also has a very unique passive where every time the champion is hit with a critical hit, heals all allies by 15% of their max HP, then places a 60% increased defense buff. Very, very strong again for that synergized team that you're going to be trying to build, both for the normal clan boss and also for the Hydra clan boss. And this very unique decreased attack AoE, which can also apply an HP burn if the decreased attack does not land. Then basically we've got Valkyrie, which is, we all know how good Valkyrie is. No real introduction is needed. The strongest one of the counterattack buff champions. I featured the video on her in my Undercover Nuker series, which I've been delaying, but I will maybe come back to that in the future. Very strong A2 skill in terms of the AoE that you can do with this. Very strong shield that you can provide to your team. Very strong for PvP situation. Very strong for PvE. Highly recommended to build out one if you have one already, or if you're looking for one for very specific things, such as either a very strong PvE team going for high damage numbers, or for a very strong PvP team where you need that Terminator steel. She can fit in both of those roles. She can even do the nuking role, which I did show in my nuking video with Valkyrie. Next up, we continue on, and for the duration of all these 10x events, we'll have the Teravolt guaranteed one going. We have Hegemon featured through the 10x. Hegemon, such a strong character. It was especially strong way before the stone skin sets existed, for the reason of either being having a strong nuker that doesn't need speed at all to work because of his Fateful Arrival skill, where he takes the turn regardless of speed. That's the only champion that has this skill in the game. Very strong AoE attacks, but also very strong debuff champion. And I currently have mine built with a stun set so that he can actually control the enemy team with the A1 skill, apply the decreased speed as well, and using the very unique mastery of Eagle Eye, and you reduce the turn meter of a targeted champion by 20%. It's a very strong skill, and that's why he was very sought after in the past. And then the other Void champion over to this one is Necro the Great, another one that I want to get. I'm thinking about it, but again, the chances to summon a Void legendary is low. It's going to be a 0.5% chance. I'm away from Pity since I did summon my Ursuga using my Pity the last time. I really want one of these. I don't have this guy on my account. I wish I had one. There's people out there that wish to get a second one for an offensive team and one for a defensive team. Really, Necro is so good because of the double passive that he has. He has this very strong ally protection that starts at the beginning of the turn. You protect a champion. You also give them the block debuffs buff and a strengthened buff plus an ally protection buff, basically making them very hard to kill as a target. And that champion has to be the one with the lowest max HP, and usually it's your attacker champion, so you don't even need to use a immunity set anymore if that's what you're looking for in terms of protecting your champion at the start of the turn from any debuffs. All right, so that's in terms of the voids. Then we have Mortu Macabre, Chanda, and Countess Legs offered through Ancients and Sacreds. So Mortu Macabre, very strong demon spawn. All right, let's have a look at him. I think I've got 2 copies of him. What makes him so good is that you attack him, you know him from the campaign. He enables this skill at a small chance, is at a 20% chance to do this. He enables this peril skill, which basically kills an enemy and keeps them dead. An insane skill when he procs, but it's you are basically just waiting for him to get attacked, and hopefully that will trigger his peril skill and take out the enemy. That's it basically for him in terms of defense. I have one, but I don't even have him booked out for his other 2 skills, which are not as crucial in terms of a PvP team. And then of course Chanda, no reason to ignore Chanda from this 10x. If you're still looking for one, I would say go for it. She is MVP in terms of nukers, still very strong in Hydra, very strong in PvP, very strong in PvE, both for an HP burn team. That's the last thing I would ever use a Chanda for her HP burn, her A3 skill. But if you want to do that, the possibility is still there. But really, Trunda is there for the pure damage potential that she can do. All right, the A2 skill is a single targeted skill and then does a big second hit, dealing 60% of the damage inflicted from the first hit. Works crazy good in Hydra when there's decapitated heads there in the Hydra. I've done videos on those as well in the past. Very strong. Even has a passive which enables her to get more resistance and more speed depending on whether she applies an HP burn or a stun. This is usually ignored when you think about Trunda, but she also has a passive. Very strong. It's insane on how good she is. And then Countess Lix, again, very good champion, but I would say you need Ashelon to get the full potential coming out of this champion. Also very strong, triple hitting A2 skill with a decreased speed and also thermometer reduction. She has an A3 which reduces cooldowns by 1 turn at a 5-turn cooldown though, which is kind of bad in terms of how long it is, but it's still a part of her kit. And then a very strong A1 skill which also applies a weekend. Highly recommended if you also have Ashelon to use both of them together, but I wouldn't go for her in terms of just summoning for this 10x. Then finally on Tuesday, August 30th, just to close off the month with this insane 10x events, and you bet you're gonna have some big void offers popping up just because Plarium really wants money for some reason at the end of this month. So gonna have Krisk offered through a 10x event, and Gurgo the Ogre will also be offered. So Krisk, MVP for Hydra, MVP for Clan Boss, non-unkillable teams, highly recommended to use one if you don't have one already. Not so much used anymore for, I would say, arena team, but he still has an insane passive which provides a shield plus the ability to apply decreased defense and a decreased attack skill just through a passive that is a guaranteed debuffing passive. It's insane that this is just 100% chance, has a guaranteed provoke, has a guaranteed ally protection and continuous heal buff, and also the chance to apply the decreased speed debuff on his A1, which is an AoE attack. Fantastic champion, one of the best void champions in the game. I wouldn't say the same for Ogre. I wouldn't say the same for Gurgo the Ogre. He is strong, okay, he does remove buffs and also applies a freeze plus gets an extra turn, but his time where he shined has long been gone. He doesn't have something as unique as other champions, especially for a void. If you're looking for something to control to lock out the enemy team, you can use this guy because he'll be removing the buffs first and then applying the freeze, so he can potentially remove something like a stone skin or the immunity buff. Stone skin has the chance to be resisted, and then he also has an extra hitting attack here. His A1 is not that special, but overall a strong lockout champion if freeze is what you're looking for to build the team. Then we got Nekmothar, a guaranteed champion that we had in the past, Snicktrag and Ragash, two of the very newer champions offered in the game. So I would say Nekmothar, I don't really like the guy. Snicktrag and Ragash is much better than all these three, I would say. So Nekmo, I think, is Lizards. Is he? Yeah. He's been featured by other content creators from what I've seen in Hydra videos, but really it's just placing him in a team that he can do stuff that other champions can do as well. Very unique that he can apply a decreased speed debuff and a leech debuff on an AoE basis, but of course of his affinity you'll have to be careful for using him in the Hydra. Also got an increased speed and a thermometer boost as well on his A3 skill, and the A1 has a decreased attack on an AoE, which is very useful if you're looking for damage mitigation by reduction of the enemy's attack. A very strong AoE in terms of just the debuff that he applies. Then if we have a look at Snicktrag, I did feature him in a video. I wasn't so welcome to the way that he works with the reflect damage and how everything works. Then he places the leech if the target is already under the reflect damage. I would be very disappointed if I summoned this guy, honestly, out of my shards. But in terms of Ragash is the one that you want to get. Guaranteed offering again. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. Very strong A2 skill with decreased defense, debuff, and also the stun. Just fantastic in terms of what you're looking for. You should use him if you have one, or, and you will not regret it. Strength buff, increased speed buff, perfect veil on this champion, and he also applies a perfect veil on the ally with the highest attack at the start of each turn. So very, very strong to help one of your weaker members in the team do some damage. And his A1 also has the chance. No, it's just an increased defense buff on this champion for 2 turns. So overall, very strong legendary, but I'm not opening anything other than voids, me personally, during these 10x events that will be going on. Anyway, guys, this was the video. Thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.